We don't get in life what we want. We get what we consistently do. And the truth is, most people, maybe even you watching this right now, you are not failing because you're not dreaming big enough. The reasons why you're failing is because your daily habits do not match the life you say you want. Hi love, and welcome into this chit chat video. Have you ever looked at your life and thought, why am I still here? I want more, I want better, but then nothing changes? Let's talk about why that happened and how to finally shift up all of that state of being. Maybe it's your confidence that you want to work on. Maybe it's your business, but you're having a hard time just stepping in that confidence, that ideal version of yourself. Well, in today's video, we're really going to be chit-chatting about that, and also there's going to be some steps to take in order for you to really feel confident to work on your business and work together with your mind to get the result that you want. So I am so happy that you're here. You can grab your water. I have my water. You can grab your tea, you can grab your juice, and let's get the chit-chat started. In order for us to understand why we are not getting what we want and also understand what's happening in our brain, we're going to be comparing two major key concepts that's really important in understanding our brain and also understanding our body, how we are playing a big role in getting what we want if you really want to change what's happening right now. So the two major concepts are motivation and habit. Starting with motivation, motivation is unreliable because some days it's there, some days it's not. If you've been in school before or you're still in school, you know that sometimes you don't have the motivation to wake up at 6 a.m. to get ready to go to school. Or maybe some other days when you know you have a quiz coming up, a test coming up, an exam coming up, a presentation coming up, you just don't feel like studying, you don't feel like doing the research, you don't feel like doing what you need to be doing to get the result that you're gonna get after, right? That's why starting with motivation is reliable because some days it's there, some days it's not. And also when it comes to your brain is wired for survival, not success. It wants to keep you safe, and safe for the brain equals familiar. So this is why you keep going back or keep doing the behavior, even the one that you know is stopping from getting the result that you want, and even the one that's hurting you. Also, when it comes to your life is not shaped by the motivation you feel. Your life is shaped by what you do repeatedly, the small action you take every day without thinking. If we go to habits shape your energy, your mindset, your opportunity, even your relationship. You can think of your habits as your identity into action. So if we take, for example, someone that goes to the gym every day, Monday to Friday, no matter what, they're there at 6 a.m., they do what they need to be doing, even when they don't feel like going in. By looking at them, we can see that their habits of going to the gym makes them of someone that likes working out, someone that likes exercising the body, getting the dream body. That's why if we look at motivation and habits, motivation is unreliable because some days it's there, some days it's not. Habits is always there because habits is in the brain. Motivation is just like a feeling sometimes we get, but we don't always have that feelings all the time. When we are feeling down, when we are sick, we don't have the motivation to go to the gym. But if the habits that we have are going to the gym, it doesn't matter if we're sick, we're still gonna have that habit because habits is in the brain. Okay, now you might be asking, so why don't we get what we want? I got you. So like we said earlier, your brain is wired for survival, not success. There's a part of your brain called the reptilian brain. This is the oldest part of the brain, and this part of the brain sees change, even goes change as risky. So it pushes you back into the old habit, even if those habits keep you broke and happy and healthy or disconnect. This part of the brain does not care. It just wants you to do what you've been doing for a long time because it wants to keep you safe. Okay, you might want to start waking up early by your repeated actions say otherwise, or you might want to stop settling for toxic relationship by your automatic pattern lead you back. Wanting something different does not make the difference. becoming someone different does, and that starts with creating new habits for yourself. You're not getting what you want, not because you're not dreaming big enough, because the habits that you have right now is not leading you to the life that you want, right? Because some people say they want to work on a business, but they procrastinate or they'll scroll for hours. And some other people, they say they want to feel more confident, but they feed themselves with negative self-talk daily, or they compare themselves to others, or every time they open Instagram they are judging themselves, they're comparing themselves to what they see on social media. Okay, it's not about what you want. This is really important. It's not about what you want. It's about the habits that you have right now, what they are creating, what they are building. If you want to feel more confident, that is what you want, right? You want to feel more confident. But if every time you look at yourself in the mirror, you are criticizing yourself, you are judging yourself, you don't like what you see, how are you going to feel confident? How are you going to be that person that want to walk around the room just feel like they love themselves? How, if you're comparing yourself to others? Wanting to be confident, that is important thing, because we all should be confident, because we're all made out of the image of God. But if you are comparing yourself, if the habit that you have right now of comparing yourself to your friend, comparing yourself to Instagram, the people that you see on Instagram, people that you see on TikTok, that is not gonna get you what you want. This is why I say we don't get what we want, we get what we consistently do. If every time you go on Instagram you're judging yourself to others, you are not gonna get what you want. If every time you want to start on your business you don't trust yourself, you don't feel like you can make it, you're not gonna get what you want. So if you really want to get what you want, look at your habit, change those habits, or create new habits that's gonna create what you want. Here's something that people get wrong, and even I used to get this wrong, but now that I learned this, I also want to give this information to you so you don't make the same mistake I did. Most people just trying to stop the habit without giving the brain something to replace it with, but your brain does not work like that. Habits create neural pathways in your brain, and when those neural pathways are reinformed over time, they become your brain default mode. Let me explain this in the easiest way. So you can think of it this way. So every time you do a habit, it's like creating a house, right? So let's say you started a habit of drinking water every morning. So every time you drink the water in the morning, you are creating like a house. So you're creating the base, you keep adding layers, you keep adding layers, you keep adding layers, to the point where the house is down. Now you're starting to get furniture, you're starting to put more stuff in the house. Okay, that's what happens every time you do a habit, and over time that house is gonna become very beautiful. It's gonna be really nice to the point where you get in, you get comfortable. That's what a habit does. Like every time you do a habit, that's what's happening. Now let's say that you want to stop a habit. So if you're someone that snack when you're overwhelmed, right, and you say that you want to stop that habit, by stopping that habit, your brain doesn't just forget about it. Okay, that habit is still in the brain, and it's waiting to be activated again. And when you stop a habit without replacing it with something else, it leaves like a mental gap in your brain, and your brain wants to fill that gap with something similar. This is why stopping a habit without giving it something better to replacing it, it just doesn't work, right? We can think about it this way. It's like, if you let's go back to the house that we were building. So you really like the house, but you realize that the bed is uncomfortable, right? And you decide that you want to throw away the bed because it's not comfortable. So you throw away the bed and you probably leave it like in front of your house, and then it's now nighttime, and you want to sleep, and you realize that you don't have a bed. What do you think you're gonna do? Go back outside and take that bed and put it back inside to sleep, right? That's what happens. So every time you wanna like remove a habit that is not serving you, it's not giving you the result that you want, it's better to replace that habit with something else. Just like the bed, if you had already bought another bed to replace the bed that you had, you would like sleep normally, like better, and you wouldn't have to go outside and take the old bed to put it back inside. That's the same thing that happens with your brain, that happens with habits. And this is where most people get it wrong. This is why most people go back to doing the old habits, because they have not replaced it with something else. And your brain is like, usually at this time we drink water. Where's the water? Right? Like if you actually, let's not take water for example, because water is really healthy. And let's take maybe like yeah, snacking when you're overwhelmed. Okay, let's say that you want to stop snacking when you're overwhelmed. You can replace that snacking with journaling. Okay, because every time you're journaling, every time you're getting that toxic, every emotion that's in your brain out of your brain and writing it in a paper, you're like releasing your brain, right? It's gonna feel more better. Or you can go for a walk. Just running is really good for you. You can go to the gym, or you can also talk to a friend. This replacing, you see where like we are replacing that snacking time with journaling, with talking to a friend, or going to the gym. That's what you need to do, because by replacing that, you're still giving the brain emotional reward. Because when we eat, it's not because we're hungry, just because we don't want to feel everything that we're feeling right now. So we're just using food as a way to like cover it up, right? But when you replace that with journaling, your brain is gonna feel so much better. You're giving it a better emotional reward, right? That's what you need to be doing. You don't want to like say, oh, I don't want to eat, but then when that time comes, you want to go to sleep. That might work, but you want to replace that with something better. Okay. And also, when you think about it, you're not just breaking a habit, you are retraining your brain to a new direction that feels safe and satisfying. Just like training a dog, you're not gonna get a puppy today and then just one day tell the puppy sit, and then like the puppy gets it. No, you have to keep it retraining. You have to keep doing it. That's the same thing that happened with your brain. If you want a better direction, if you want a better life, if you want a better outcome in your life, you have to change what you are doing right now. Not just get rid of it, you have to replace it with something better. Because when you replace it with something better, your life is changing. And instead of you like gaining weight, you replace that with journaling, so you're gonna feel more better, you're gonna feel relaxed. And maybe talking to a friend, you're gonna feel better, you're gonna talk to a friend, you guys are gonna laugh. That's better than just eating, right? That's really what I want you to get in. I want you to retrain your brain, not just getting rid of the habit, but retrain your brain in a new direction to go. Now let's say that you tried to change your habits, but you're still having a hard time. You have to understand that if you failed, if you're not getting, for example, the first week, the first day, if you're not getting the result that you want, I want you to understand that you are okay, you are not broken. I don't want you to personalize it, because like we talked earlier, it is not actually you not wanting to get the result. It's your brain that's trying to keep you safe by leading you and pushing you to do the old habits that you want to get rid of. It's really important to know this, because having compassion for yourself, having so much love for yourself to understand, I am doing my best. I am doing my best, and it's just my brain trying to protect me. That's gonna lead you, it's gonna give you another way of looking at what's happening right now, and not shame yourself. Because if you shame yourself, you're not gonna get the result that you want, right? Like you wanna have so much love for yourself to the point where you realize, okay, I failed today, but I can do it again tomorrow. Okay, I failed today, but it's not actually me, it's just my brain. That's what I want you to get. So if you try to change, but you're still having a hard time, I want you to know that you are not broken, you are not doing it on purpose, you are okay. It's just your brain. You just have to keep retraining your brain to the point where your brain find comfort and have so much self-trust to trust you to go to the next level. Because if you watch my older videos, I say that every time you step out of familiarity, your brain thinks that you are in danger. And since the brain is there protecting you, it wants you to keep doing the old habits. Even if you watching right now knows that it's bad, your brain doesn't know that. Well, part of your brain doesn't know that, because there's a part of the brain that's watching this video that knows that something is wrong, something is good. And there's also another part of the brain, the reptilian brain. This is the part of the brain that controls habits, that knows that no, you have to do this, you have to do this, right? And that's the part of the brain that we have to work together with to really get what we want. So don't shame yourself, don't cry. Actually, you can cry, but like don't do it in a way that you are shaming yourself. Okay, you have to have so much love yourself to yourself, because you need to understand you're not just trying to fight a battle, you're trying to fight a battle loop without understanding what's happening. Because the brain is such a big, we can compare it to a machine. There's so much happening in your brain, the reptilian part of the brain. Maybe you didn't know this information. By knowing this, or this is the reptilian part of the brain that's doing this, not actually me, that's gonna give you like courage to keep going, right? And also you have to understand that change is not about perfection, because with the internet we are now so used to seeing people living the best life, people getting the best results, and we think that's how it's supposed to be. It's not like that. Change is not about perfection. Change is about consistently. It's about keep doing it. Even if you fail, you keep doing it, because the real shift happened not when you stop blaming yourself and stop being the victim. It's when you realize, okay, I failed today, but this is part of the rewiring progress, right? It's not going to be perfect the same day. I just have to keep going. I just have to keep training my brain until it gets there, and then I'm going to go to the next step that I want. Okay, so I want you to have grace for yourself. You have to give yourself grace, but you don't want to let yourself off the hook. Okay, you don't want to be like, okay, I failed today, I'm not going to do it again. No, you have to get up and do it again, get up and do it again, because your future is not shaped by what you do once. It's shaped by what you do repeatedly, the small action you take every day. Even if you fail today, you tell yourself, okay, I failed today, I'm going to do it again tomorrow. Okay, I failed, I'm going to do it again. To the point where you're going to realize you're not failing anymore. You just keep leveling up, you keep leveling up, you keep getting the confidence that you want. Your business is going up, it's going up. That's what you want, right? You want to have so much grace and so much love for yourself. So my love, I really hope these steps, everything that we talked about, really helped you. I really try to break this step in the easiest way, because I am someone that really learn better when things are explained like a kindergarten version. So that's what I tried to do here. But if there's any question, if there's anything that I did not explain better that you want me to explain more, just drop it in the comments down below, and I will do my very best to explain it in a way that makes sense for you. But we are not done yet. We still have takeaways to go through in these videos. We have 3, so yeah. If you're not familiar with takeaways, they're usually key points in the video that really ties everything together. And this is, if there's something that I really want you to get on there, you know, like when you have a lesson but then the professor quiz you when they do a test, because they want to know if you really understand, right? So these are the points of the video that really ties everything together, and once you know this, you will know everything that I talked about. So in this video we have 3, and yeah. So the first one is, you don't get what you want, you get your habits. This is just, it's already self-explanatory. Like, you don't get what you want. If you want to feel more confident, just because you say you want to feel confident, you're not going to get the confidence that you want. You have to keep doing, you have to keep working on that confidence, right? And the second one is, motivation is nice. I don't want you to take that I'm saying that motivation is not nice. Motivation is nice. It's just that it's not always there. It's not always there. And you need habits, because habits build a system. Habits builds something that you keep doing even when you don't want to do it. Because motivation, today you might want to be motivation to go to school, tomorrow you want to just sleep until 10 a.m, right? You don't feel motivated. So that's why I say motivation is nice, but it's not reliable, because some days it's there, some days it's not. And the third one is your habits create your identity. If you want a different life, don't just dream about it. Build a system that will reflect that. Build habits that reflect the life that you want. If you want to feel more confident, just by you saying you want to feel more confident, it's not going to give you the confidence. You have to build the habits of someone who's confident. How does someone who's confident behave? They don't compare themselves to others. They are in love with themselves. They have self-care. They give themselves all the love that they need, so they don't seek it elsewhere. Okay, so that's all I have for today's chit chat. I am so happy that we're here. If you made it all the way down to the end, and I just want to say that I'm so proud of you, and I'm sending you all my love. If there's any question, if there's any concept that you really want me to talk more of, just drop it in the comment down below, and I will do my best to make that video or to comment it. And yeah, I really love you. Yeah, I love you. I love you, and it was nice chatting with you. Bye. See you next